Hello, friend. Do you feel exhausted sometimes, more often than you would like to admit, or all the time? It's for one reason because you have been playing an inner game, and this is the cop and the thief game, or the cat and the mouse game, or, yeah, the devil and the angel game. We have both these aspects within us, the good and the bad. And when they keep fighting for a very, 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 very long time, it gets ugly. And that is when exhaustion seeps in. That is when we feel lost, we feel tired, and we give up. And that's when the feeling of stuckness comes in. And how do you get out of this? How do you get out of this feeling of either stuck or lost or overwhelmed? You have to stop playing that game of cat and mouse. The easiest way, I will tell you, is stop binging on Netflix or YouTube or the news and looking for what the other guy is saying and what your guy is saying, because there's always something you're favoring, some guy you're favoring. Either it's the conservative or the liberal, either it's the rich or the poor, or it's the immigrant or not the immigrant. Whatever be your story, you have this game playing within you of someone you want to be and someone you don't want to be. And whatever you want to be is your future version that is waiting for you to come and embrace it and open up to it. But what is keeping you back is your past self, your past conditioning, your pre programming, where you were told stranger danger, or you were told be the good guy, and you didn't know what it meant, or you were told don't be the bad guy, and you did not know what that meant. Because I have worked with children in schools, and some of the kids are younger than 3. So these are preschools. And a child goes and hits someone, and the teacher tells them, do you know what you did, little Johnny? And they said, I was bad. And what does that mean? Not to be bad. So will you do it again? They don't know. And this manifests over time as adults, where we do things that hurt us and we don't know how to stop. All addictions, and we think of smoking and drinking and drugs as addictions. In fact, in the Western world, drinking is not even considered an addiction. People blame caffeine, but they don't blame alcohol until you're pulled over by a cop and given a DUI and asked to go to the Alcoholic Anonymous. Alcohol is socially acceptable. Did you know alcohol is a depressant? And I know it's depressing to hear about depressants. Uh huh. Because alcohol removes the critical barrier from your mind and takes you deep within, where all the sorrow, all the grief, all the pain, all the hurt, all the shame, all the blame, all the anger, all the fear exist. It is a depressant. But if I told you right now, quit drinking, you'd be like, who are you to tell me that? But that is what brings up. And it's not just alcohol. I just gave an example. It could be anything. We are always going for the dopamine hit. And why do we go for that dopamine hit? Because we are exhausted from the entire day's work, with the battle going on within our head, nonstop in our heart, the conflicts. And then we are like, okay, let me not sit with myself. Let me not bother with myself and my own mess. I'm tired of talking about it to anyone. And I don't want to regurgitate it or think about it. Let me distract myself somehow. And we watch movies, whatever we do, in Pali, in the language of the Buddha, the word is bhuwanga. And it is a very nice term for a downward spiral, because you listen to one song and you are triggered. And that song, which could be 3 to 5 minutes long, suddenly becomes 3 to 5 hours long because one after the other, after the other, after the other. I come from India. I know about Bollywood. Okay. One is never good enough. You go for the second, and then you reach out and go for the third. And by the time you got into the third, you have lost control. Now you're just spiraling downhill. When it comes to food, you can have one piece of chocolate cake and you're like, this is so good, right? And then you have a second one. And you're like, this is so nice. Stop. Stop at that second piece of chocolate cake. You don't have to take the third one. And if you're eating your chocolate cake after a full meal, you may not be able to because your body will like, you can't do this. And you stop. But when it comes to music, when it comes to smoking, when it comes to alcohol, when it comes to Netflix, when it comes to scrolling, when it comes to binging on your reels, what's going on? You don't know how to stop because it's not your stomach which is throwing up. Sometimes I know people who are watching the television and they go off to sleep and they wake up and they continue watching. I have seen it, I have heard of it. It is bhuvanga. It is the downward spiral. And that is when you wake up in the morning all groggy after hitting the snoozer for a few times and you get out of bed and you go to work because if you don't work, you won't get paid. And if you don't get paid, you will lose your house. It comes down to that. So, how do you stop it? You stop after that second piece of chocolate cake. hmm If you can promise to do that to yourself, your life is heaven. You don't need anything. You don't need me. You don't need this video. But if you can't say no to the things that you're addicted to, and it could be the complaining, it could be the fighting, it could be the cat and mouse game, the thief and the hop game that that's going on in your subconscious, and you feel exhausted, you feel tired, you feel lost, you feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck. Then comment below: lost, stuck, overwhelmed, or peace, balance, whatever it is. Comment below, or just comment the name of the city you're tuning in from to watch this video. And let's get into a dialogue. Go to the link on my bio and claim that gift for yourself. Connect with me and let's start a conversation. Because nothing is cheap, nothing is free, but you are more than free, you are more than cheap. You deserve to invest in yourself to return to the balance in your life, because that is how your inner calling becomes your outer reality. You were born for a reason with a purpose, and you forgot all about it. Remember this: children don't know what is good and bad. They have no problem talking about life and death. They'll watch a dead beetle and they'll be like, it's not moving. They'll see a bumblebee that's not flying. That's not moving. And be like, oh, the bumblebee is dead. They have no problem talking about it. But in the Western society, we don't talk about death. But every night you die when you go to bed, and every morning you wake up and you're reborn. In fact, every breath, every inhalation is life, every exhalation is death. Did you know how simple it is? And in a day, how many breaths do you take? I'll tell you, in a minute, you take anywhere from 12 to 15 breaths. So in a minute, you die 15 times and you're born 15 times. Now, that is going too deep. You may not want to hear this, but it's a fact. You can ask any doctor about it. Sit with yourself in that silence and take a breath with me and know the peace within you. And if you are ready to bring in abundance to manifest, not just manifest, to materialize. I'll tell you something. I have been in this business for more than 20 years. Okay. And when I got started, I had 3 young children and it was hard. So somebody said, you can get a business loan. So I went to my bank and I said, hey, I need a business loan. And they say, what can you give us so we can give you a loan against it? I said, if I can give you something, why would I need a loan? I don't have anything. That is why I have come for a loan. So I can take care of myself and my 3 children and also work on my business. So I can start making money. This says, no, you have to give something as a loan, either your car or your house. I'm like, no. And so no loans. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked because I had sweat and I had intelligence and I had that stick to itiveness. I didn't want to give up. And here I am. And now, I receive at least 10 to 20 emails every day, how people tell me how awesome I am and how much they love what I do. And they want to sell their system so I can bring in more clients, number one. And 10 to 20 emails, guess what I get on? People wanting to give me loans, people wanting to give me money. I don't need their money. I come from India. We know how to live debt free. We know how to live without loans. And now, 20 years later, 25 years later, people are pounding my door and saying, hey, come take my money and let's put it in your business. And people want to buy my business. I'm like, why would I sell my business? I'm still alive. Once I'm dead, maybe you want to buy it from my kids. I don't know. But I don't want to sell my business. I want to do what I do. I want to help people be happy, be healthy, be safe, be loved, find their faith, overcome their fear, step into their courage, step into their brilliance, step into their light. I want all that. I'm not ready to sell my business or take someone else's money. But that is how you attract what you want. You want strength, you become strong. You want love, you become love. You want peace, you become peace. You want abundance, you become abundance. Because you can only attract who you are. You cannot have what you want. To have what you want, become what you want. And through the law of attraction, you will attract all of that. So click on the link in my bio and let's connect. All right, my friend. Until next time, lots of love, lots of peace, lots of blessings. Bye for now. Namaste.
If I could be anywhere, I'd be here with you, sharing our healing hearts, our hope and our truth. Joy overflows here at the crossroads. Here at the crossroads. Oh, here at the crossroads.